Progress. Oh, my butt. Are you coming here to lay with me or something? No.
You help with that?
Are you coming in here to sit with me? I'm watching my team meeting.
You're watching your what?
Team meeting for work.
They got some video in it.
Oh yeah, they record all the time.
Did it already happen or
What?
did it already happen?
No, it's
All right. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, how's it going? Good.
Out. Out.
Anybody
That's fine.
have like one of those dog whistle? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, happy July. Happy true summer. I think we meet in June and it feels like summer, but it's not legally summer. It's having young kids and being like, now it's summer. They're like, it's kind of been summer for a couple of months now. But glad you all are here. I know many people are traveling. Many people are busy with clients, and so I know that your time is valuable. And hopefully, this is an action-packed hour. We got a lot of ground to cover as always. And now we're just touching base. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to shut up and keep us moving. All right, bucket fills. What are we grateful for? Who are we grateful for? What can we
during the entire month of August, ESPN Cleveland and the Bass Authority are getting free access to the Land on Demand for all the news you don't want to miss. Visit thelandondemand.com or download the app today. The Land on Demand, remodeled by the Bass Authority.
Here. I feel like we should do a Lynn's gratitude on the daily. Shout out to Lynn. Who else? Yeah, Zion.
I'm grateful for Scott. I had a lot of questions and me and him got coffee and he helped me out a lot.
No, it's in, so there's thankful for him.
Awesome. Scott is a team player. Capital T. One or two more. Eric.
Just Nick has done an amazing job. Just stepping into that role. I think if you realized how much Dee Dee did before she left and what she had to deal with coming in here, this office does a ton of business, and I know it was a little getting started, but no matter who came in, it was going to be a tough feat, and he's done an amazing job.
Here. I appreciate you saying that. I think it's easy to focus on, oh, this is different, or this, I haven't heard back about this, and we're still working through that, but immense amount of work has happened. I don't think anybody realized how much Dee Dee was doing except for Dee Dee. Let's be real. Any others?
Yeah.
Carl-Ann and then Nick. I love the gratitude. Go ahead.
My friend Mercedes, who's helped me with hopefully closing on this house in the next week or so.
There we
She's
go.
been amazing in helping me out, and I'm just so blessed to have her as my friend and fellow realtor.
There we go.
Mine is proxy.
Ashley
Cypher's on. And
Tell me what
huge
happened.
huge thank you to Scott and Annette for holding down the fort while I
Don't want the money in.
For those who aren't aware, Ashley Cyphers is operations assistant on the Killy team. Her husband was dizzy, vision, migraines a couple weeks ago. Found out they had a mass on his brain. He fed him up to Cleveland Clinic, biopsies, University Hospital, and performed surgery a week or so ago.
Thursday, they will find out if it's benign or not.
Yeah, so continued prayers. Legacy Group Cares is involved and in communication with Ashley, but prayers for the team, but particularly for Ashley and her husband Tim and their family as they're going through what they're going through. Glad to be able to support one another when we're going through the things that you never sign up for. Just a reminder, our mission at KW is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. It's fun. The experiences worth giving, lives worth living. Lots of people are on vacation, seeing their posts from all over the place, and that's fun. We never want you to be so busy or so slave to the work that you lose sight of, the what and the who that you're doing it for. Amanda, come and help us welcome those we should welcome.
Yeah, so we welcomed 3 new agents this month. Sherry DeGasperis, who is joining her husband Chris to form the DeGasperis Group. Brandon Maurer, and then Brittany Rawlings, who is joining forces with her husband Scott Rawlings to create the Rawlings team. So welcome to those 3. And
Informal, but soon to be formal welcome to Dominic. Is it pronounced kale?
Yes.
Like the leafy green? Dominic Kale has just come off Jose's team, is opting to be a solo agent, and we're so glad that you're here. What do we got coming up, Amanda?
Yes, just a reminder, our summer picnic is gonna be on August 13th on a Saturday. It's gonna be at Price Park. If you haven't RSVP'd for you and your family yet, please do so. We are going to have a cornhole tournament. There's gonna be kickball. There's gonna be a relay race that Scott Kelly and I are putting together. Good food, prizes. There's gonna be a contest for best side dish. And there's
Bring
gonna
it.
be one for best dessert. So if you think you wanna compete, you can sign up for that.
And if I understand correctly, this relay race is not like, be an athlete. It's more fun than athletic. So yeah, you got to be able to move your body. The goal is laughter, connection, time together. Please put it on your calendar. I think when we're busy, it's easy to say, I'll make it if I can, but prioritizing time together and being connected and feeling like we've got one another and actually like one another is important. And so I'd love it if as many of you can prioritize it as possible. Yes, Scott.
Finalize what that looks like. We will share that with people so they can build your team to compete.
So Reese already wants me on his team.
Forgive me if you mentioned it and I was spacing. We got bounce houses and stuff as well. We don't. Oh,
Sometimes when you ask for permission.
But tell them about the team.
What about what? Oh. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna ask. I learned my lesson not to ask. So we may have a dunk tank if I can find one.
There might be rumor that it's.
And normally I would offer to help you find one, but I'm not going to
Because you think you're gonna be in the Stay tuned, you will see. Don't get excited about dunk tank. But
Get excited. Get excited.
yes, definitely get excited.
yeah. Hang on just a quick second. Cool. All right, just a quick snapshot of what we've accomplished in the first half of the year. So again, we've talked about it. Q3 is upon us. Q2 is in the books. So first half of 2022, we served 1,280 families, closed 242.5 million in sales volume. Average sale price is just a tick north of 189,000. It was higher in June, it was 195 and change. And that's across all of our markets. That includes Mansfield, Ashland, Wayne County, et cetera. And then our profit share year to date, which is record high year to date, is $240,000, which is pretty exciting. Just a snapshot here as well. You can't read the names, but we maintained the first place. This is a Stark County snapshot. This is a little bit deceiving because our expansion teams are represented here. And so we could, work together, but not together, just for the sake of that. But we maintain the first position among brokerages in this area. For those who are joining us from the Mansfield Board of Realtors, again, we're newer, kind of gaining ground in Mansfield, but we are number 3 here. The number 1 is held by Outside Broker. Different set of issues altogether, but we're in the 3rd position year to date in the greater Mansfield area, all counties in the Mansfield board. So great work on everyone and the work we're doing there. Nick, come on up. Let's talk about June production.
So in June, our profit share was $47,260.02. Whoever got 2 cents, congratulations.
It needs to be like the Mr. Irrelevant award. What's the smallest profit share check anyone's ever gotten? Just on that for a second. I got one for $4.99. Anyone go less than that?
You win.
That was from a Pittsburgh market center. They're just not very profitable out there. It was like a $300,000 house too, and $5 in profits. What are you guys doing out there? Come on. Yeah, exactly. What are you driving, a Vespa?
Our June top producers, Jessica Atkins, Brian Robson, Javon Burson, Carol Cooper, Jessica, oh, I always get this.
You got it.
Darty, Shonda Davis, Jared Dutton, Allison Eslich, Amanda Gordon, Amy Guthrie, Jessica Hendershot, Eric Henry, Lori Shosted, Sam Holmes, Ryan Jones, Tracy Jones, Jamie Kelly, Scott and Lynette Killy, Marcy Klee, Michelle Knight, Christian Lamb, Hannah Laps, Douglas Miller, Eli Mongol, Jen Mucci, Talithia Mummertz, Deborah Oberlin, Ryan Prosser, Jonathan Riley, Sadie Schofield, Caitlin Shepard, Katie Shimek, Daniel Schizler, Julie Smith-Geiser, Melissa Steiner, Daniel Thomas, Chris Trees, Holly Van Riper, Jackie Wakem, Wycombe, sorry.
Wakeham.
Jeez, I'll get there. Stephanie Webb, Greg Wolf, and Jason Wooden.
Woo!
We have more top producers. Amy Carricker, Annabelle Lakota, Brandon Fleming, Brianna Lehman, Cindy Carpenter, Jose Medina, Kevin McCauley, Nikki Horvath, Rachel Ho, Tiffany Pepper, Tim Miller, Melissa Sanford, Lance Trainum, Alyssa Kingzette. These are our expansion partners.
Well done. That is a larger than normal list. 1 in 4 of our agents took a listing in June, which is a great number. Normally it's more like 1 in 7. So that's, some of that is seasonality, and June is a better month than February is, but good work across the board.
Yeah. And then congratulations to our June cappers. Sam Holmes, who's trying to hide over there, Christian Lamb, Javon Burson, Hannah Laps, Jen Mucci, Marcy Klee, Amanda Gordon, Melissa Steiner, Jamie Kelly. I believe we have more, don't we?
No, that's
it?
the list.
Okay,
but
okay.
an average month we have like 3, so to
Yeah,
have
no, that's
9
a
in
large
1
list.
month.
That's what I think I remember it being a large list, and I was like, man, this is really large. But yeah.
Well done, you guys. And special, there's a couple first timers in there. Special nod, she's on vacation right now, but Javon Burson, we're gonna have her talk at a later time. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
She put together a really large deal that involved much support from the Dutton team, much support from Ann Presley, and had a big capping extravaganza on that one. So well done, and I look forward to kind of diving in and learning from her as she got some takeaways from that. So great job to this group. Great group, just gotta say. Rich, come on down.
Good morning, everybody. All right. So I want to talk about just a few things here. So President Sales Club is due by June 5th or July. July.
You're late.
You're late in the late fee apply. So anyway, July 15th, they have to be postmarked by. Oh, is it the 14th? Okay.
Yes, 14.
So get them into me if you need signatures on them. We have to get that done. They will let you after that. They demand the late fee. You will pay it. And if you don't, you're just not going to get it. So if you need to get it to me, we can sign by .loop or in person, but get it to me so we can get that in the mail, or you can get it in the mail by the 14th. All right, MLS dues, second time of year. So $228 you're going to be billed here August 2nd. You have, I think, 30 days or something like that to pay that. So just know it's coming. I know some agents right now are struggling a little bit with business. Others are flourishing. So just make sure you're budgeting accordingly. The new residential property disclosure form is in .loop. Thank you, Amanda, for getting that. And I just have to tell you, so from one of our other companies at Keller Williams Elevate, so Mike Schmieder, who took over for Erica Chelko, the MCA up there, amazing gentleman, but I had no idea, just so you know, that all of the documents in .loop that have all those check boxes, and every time we change something, guess who's been going through and doing that, which I absolutely despise and hate, and it takes hours to do it. Little did we know that, just talking with Mike a little bit, all you have to do is email that to .loop and they do it all for you for free because we're members of that. And so thank you to Mike and then Amanda who sent it on the new RPD. I didn't have to touch. It's all done and uploaded in there. It's amazing. So yeah. So
information we could have used.
I did all of the onboarding paperwork by hand. It must have taken me hours and I did it.
We shouldn't reveal that secret.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those like back in my day,
Right.
we walked uphill both ways.
I felt it. When he told me that was a thing, I felt that.
So I
Had to write with a
cringe
crayon.
Every time, like, you want to change the purchase agreement? No. So, all right. So the RPD is in there. So if you guys are using the old one, please archive it. We have until the end of the year or the first of the year to start using the new one, but get it out of your use. If you see the 5-page still coming to you from other brokerages, it's fine. Just know that by the first of the year, you can't use it anymore. Okay. We have the RPAC dueling pianos is August 18th. Eric Henry is on that committee with the Star Board. So awesome. Thank you, Eric, for doing that. You know, the things I talk about for, you know, all the things going on at the state level, that's our RPAC dollars at work. So I highly encourage you to go invest in RPAC. But if anybody is available to put a package together, whether it's a golf package, whether it's a day at the spa, whether it's just a basket, something like that. If you can donate something to RPAC that they can auction off at that, please get with Eric Henry. Maybe a few agents go in together and do something like that, but it's important that they have things to auction off because that increases the amount of money that we can send to the state for our commitment for RPAC.
I think just to share, the RPAC auction that was in Warren, Ohio, we raised I think $12,122
Wow.
just from the auction itself.
That's cool.
Was it 12,000 of that riding in a boat with you for a couple hours?
No,
It was the highest.
That was like $1,500.
It was crazy.
I don't know if they think they're going in a yacht or not.
Rich in the dinghy.
I mean, it's a rowboat. There's no butler service. I'm not really sure what's happening.
I'm just seeing you as a gondolier. You know?
His daughter wanted that for
One of the hats, you know.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, when it's structured.
I do not, but I don't need a captain.
Oh,
Nope,
I'll
I'm
pay
good.
for that.
So, right on that. Thanks for all the love, guys. All right. I want to tell you guys a quick story. The agents are not in this room. They are part of our brokerage, and I would never reveal the things that I have access to. But I do want to tell you a quick story about something that can happen to every single one of us in this room. So look out for it. So we know that when there's a lease that happens, typically a landlord collects maybe the first month's rent and security deposit, right? That's pretty normal. Well, in this particular instance, the landlord collected first month's rent, last month's rent, and did a double deposit. Don't know why, but they did. It was on a duplex. So the rent was $650 on each side. They collected $1,300 for first month's and last month's rent. They also collected $1,300 for a double deposit. The listing agent got a copy of the leases, did not look at that to notice it, just passed those on to the buyer's agent, who also happened to be at our brokerage. They did not pay attention to that. The buyer looked at the lease and just like, I've done deals with this particular agent before. I trust everything that's going on. Long story short, they did an addendum to where the landlord wanted to hit a certain amount of money to net. And so he decided to write up an addendum himself. The agents questioned it, but nonetheless went with it. And it was basically in lieu of giving the first and last month's deposits, or instead of giving the security deposit, I'm going to give you first and last month's rent. Well, on the surface, if you think about just collecting the deposit and you think about just collecting the first month's rent, hey, I don't care what you call it, as long as I get that money,
Right.
I've got it. So you call it whatever you want. Unfortunately, our buyer is now out $2,600 because of that double deposit that they did not pass over. And unfortunately, that looks bad on us because we didn't do our job really to pay attention, and the consumer didn't either. There's weight on the consumer as the buyer too, but we didn't do our job. So I say that to you not to condemn anybody. This is a safe space and we all learn.
Yeah.
But look at the leases that you're passing over, because unfortunately, you have a duty to your buyer to make sure that they're getting what they should be getting. In our purchase agreement, it does state that the security deposit conveys. In this case, they made other arrangements. There's nothing we can do about it, but this particular buyer is very upset that they're out $2,600. So just a heads up. Clear cooperation agreement. I keep getting questions about this and I don't have the perfect answer for you, but there is a brokerage that keeps putting sneak peeks online of videos of homes that they're going to be listing for sale, but they don't give an address. They just give you the sneak peek, and agents are calling and emailing and asking what the address is, but they're not giving you the address until 24 hours before it goes in the MLS, which complies with MLS rules and clear cooperation agreement. It seems to be very gray on whether or not you're taking a picture or a video and putting it out there and not giving an address, if that's publicly marketing a property, since you're not giving all the information. I wish I could tell you that they're going to get in trouble for it, or you can do it, or you can't do it, or whatever. I don't have an answer for you yet, but I'm just telling you, when you see that, I'm going to say it's a very gray area. If you want to have that practice because others are doing it, that's up to you, but I don't really encourage you to behave in that manner. But nonetheless, just know that if somebody's publicly marketing a property longer than 24 hours before putting the MLS, that is a clear cooperation agreement violation. The MLS can fine you for that. And the last thing, just something to note for your clients, people that are shopping at the higher end of their price range, you may want to consider, not only do you want to get their pre-approval letter like that day or the day before to make sure about those interest rates, just a quick reminder on that. But I know I have a lot of family that they shop for their, if you haven't heard of it, it's the apples to apples comparison for utilities in the state of Ohio. You can shop for your electric and gas supplier. I just want to tell you that, like, I shopped this morning, and just a quick reminder to your clients, as we start to see the recession kind of come into play, if you've not paid attention to utility bills, they're going to be doubling, folks. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be going up. So if you have people buying at the top end, or if you're struggling to pay those bills, just know that you can shop for those utility rates online. I encourage you to tell your clients that. And it's a great way for you, if you're struggling to find ways to contact your past clients or whatever, it's a great way to reach out to them and just kind of provide them with that little tidbit of information, because electric rates are actually doubling. I know mine was like 0.48. The lowest I can find now is like 0.9. So if I had a $65 bill last month, it's going to be $120 next month. So that's a significant increase, but it's a great way for you to reach out, give your clients a tidbit, and just kind of touch base with them, but also for you as agents. Yeah, that's a good word.
He says apples to apples.
Yeah, it's the apples to apples comparison. You can shop for your gas and electric rates. You can't change from AEP or Ohio Edison or whatever, but you can shop from where they get it from. So yeah, that's cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Reg. Appreciate you. We have the best broker, in case anybody, was murky on that. That remains true. Lynn, come on down. I wanted Lynn to touch a little bit on database, because as the market shifts, winning the database game is more important than ever. So, Lynn.
You got my slide.
Okay.
Next one.
eCrest. Okay. Two types of databases.
I would throw something, but
today and
he
database
knows I
scheduled
can't.
for tomorrow. I got for you from NAR. NAR says that people move every 10 years. If you're only focusing on doing your business today, you're going to lose 10% of your business that can be done. And that's all you're focusing on. Within 10 years between transactions, agents that don't leverage systems to stay top of mind end up experiencing their client going somewhere else. So the takeaway from that is take control of your database, have a purposeful, consistent approach to your contacts. If you don't know how, I'm having a class on the 29th. If you don't have a database, you need help getting it all squared away. Or even if you do have a database, you're like, hey, I don't know how to clean this up. Stop in, I'll help you. I'm also having weekly commission sessions. So that what that means is if you're a single agent and you aren't out of green sheets, you'll be hearing from me. So look out for my email or call. It's coming. And if you just start struggling, so we don't want you to struggle. If you're confused, stop in, I'll help you. Those are going to be, right now we're doing them twice a week, but we might change that up, make it a little more efficient. So just let us know.
We know that tech stuff can feel big and cumbersome. So sitting shoulder to shoulder with someone can make all the difference. I wasn't looking right at you, Marcy, as I was saying that. I know you love technology. There you go. There you go. That's half the battle, right? And so we want to wrap our arms around you as much as possible and make that a non-overwhelming experience. Good to see you, Lauren. Thanks, Lynn. We have half of our power duo today.
I was gonna say Jess is out on her vacation now.
Come on, Jess,
So,
living her
I
best
know,
life.
right? So, all right. So I know I did get the information. You want me to hit on those couple things?
Please,
So,
that'd be great.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. So, well, first I wanted to kind of just touch base on, in June, because I know Jessica and I, we were gone in June because we were at our mortgage conference on Vegas, which was awesome. So, what was really great was we had some of the top professionals in our industry. We had Dan Abib there, who he runs MBS Highway, which gives us our marketing updates, because everybody wants to know what's going on with the market. What is the outlook of rates and everything look like, and what does that all entail? Okay. And he's a pretty smart guy and looks at each and every one of the factors that goes into what drives rates and what's causing them to change and what's doing with inflation and market updates. And so basically, to not go too much into it, but he basically broke it down as, I think once we get towards November towards the early part of the year, as with the recession, quote unquote, kind of taking in some effect, interest rates and everything are going to come down. Okay. And we were asking him, I'm like, okay, do we get people involved with adjustable rate mortgages to help with that? And he's like, everybody, honestly, no, because it's really not that much of a benefit. He's like, educate people more on either taking some funds and maybe, like tax proration and maybe using that to buy the rate down a little bit to get locked into that. Because the reason that the market is right now where rates are and the cost to get those is because they know when the rates do come down, people are going to be refinancing. So investors are like, hey, we're going to try to push these rates as high as we can to get people to bite on them, and then, but we're gonna help educate past that, okay, to make sure people are in the right situations financially for them and their family. Okay, that's just what we do. All right, so just to kind of give you an overview of what the market's looking like, I'd say November, early end of this year into next year, you're going to start to see rates normalize even more, probably down to like back into the fours, I would say, and probably stick there for a little while. So that's of all the information that they were gathering, from us on that.
Doesn't it sound amazing? I just remember, I'm at a 4. I need to refinance down in the 2s like 6 months ago. And I was like, the 4s?
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a, perspective for that. Some things that we have been doing recently, especially with like first time home buyers that are, new to the process, maybe need to keep your payment a certain level, is that, because the down payment assistance programs that are out there, guys, they don't have to necessarily take the down payment portion. Like for OFA, I had a couple borrowers that I just got under contract, or they just got under contract that I have them in the system now. They're just using the OFA interest rate portion of it because they qualify for that specific program. Okay. Just because it's a DPA program that through OFA doesn't mean they have to take the down payment program. They can take the rate and just, get locked into that, or take either a percentage of the amount to get towards their closing costs, or take the full 5%. You don't have to. It's just another step that we're trying to help with first-time home buyers and educating them if they qualify and fit into that mold, that, hey, we can lock you in at this rate. It's no extra cost, and they can get their loan done. So just little things like that we're really trying to focus on to make sure that we're helping people get into the right situations and things like that. So those types of things, if you guys ever have questions or scenarios or just any mortgage questions whatsoever, just please give me a call and I'll help go over everything with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Cliff.
So,
Appreciate
you're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
With as much uncertainty, Gene, as you come up here, with as much uncertainty as there is in the mortgage environment, having someone that you trust who knows their stuff, who's highly responsive is more important than ever. And so if you've not already connected with Cliff and or Jessica, strongly encourage you to do so. And that won't go away even if rates go down.
So a couple of
Hey, Gina.
things. Hi, what's up? Happy to be back. 2 back-to-back vacations makes me be happy to be home.
We all feel so sorry for her, don't we?
Yeah. Working on vacation, but still fun to be home. Anyway, so a couple things. Yesterday I was having an unpleasant seller conversation, so I thought I would share, which was a reminder that, wow, we used to have unpleasant conversations with our sellers. So maybe we should talk for a minute about that and kind of setting those expectations again. And that unpleasant conversation was, hey, Mr. Seller, we've been on the market for 2 weeks and we haven't had one showing. And maybe it's because we need to do a price adjustment. And what was shocking to me was, oh my God, when was the last time I've had this conversation? Like, I forgot how to do this. And it's only been like not that long ago that we were doing that regularly. So I remembered that I used to have an agenda. I had an agenda that I would go over at my listing appointment with my sellers and say, here's what to expect. Every Monday, we're going to have a phone call and we're going to discuss feedback and we're going to discuss price and we're going to discuss all these things. So here's what to expect. I haven't had to have that conversation in over a year, maybe even 2. especially not recently, so much so that I was like fumbling to even have this conversation. Like I even felt nervous to call them because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna say? They're gonna be mad at me. And I've done this for years on the listing side and I was still concerned. So I'm gonna try to pull those scripts back in and put them back into the drive and start to recirculate some of that, especially for the people that have been licensed under a year, because that is not an area that you have ever experienced with listings. That is coming back. It definitely is. Things are gonna be on the market longer. In this particular house, which is in Ridgewood, beautiful home, but that area, the average market time was 30 to 45 days. So I had to remind them, remember when I came out and I did that CMA and we looked at the market time, it wasn't 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Or 3 to 4
This
days.
is normal. Yeah, yeah.
It was 30 to 40 days. So this 2-week thing isn't like I actually had to test it out and go on showing time. Like, did I set it up properly? Like what's happening here? But, and they shot me down. They wouldn't reduce the price, but you know, it'll happen. We'll talk again in a week.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of just mention that. So we're going to kind of talk more about that here in the up and coming weeks, because that's going to become a thing again, especially for, again, like newest people. That's a whole new can of worms that you guys haven't had to experience before.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
anyway.
So I wanted to have a brief
yeah.
conversation with Gina. With the interest rates being as crazy as they are, buyers getting priced out of the market right now, have a kind of a role play conversation where I'm resisting buying in this market because I'm waiting for the rates to drop. So,
Yep.
hey, Gina, thank you. I appreciate your willingness to help. We are hoping to buy. We're tired of renting, but this interest rate environment is just crazy. And I'd rather wait until money's cheaper again.
Yeah. So how long have we been looking now, Mark? About 3 months?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just so I'm hearing you correctly, you're ready to just kind of throw that time all away and all the time we've invested?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that. It just feels so expensive right now. And I've never seen interest rates this high. It feels
Right.
like they have to come back down, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can fluctuate, but I mean, in all seriousness, they're just high to you because you just started looking 3 months ago. But
Sure.
in the scheme of things, they're not terribly high. But I mean, didn't you tell me that your lease was up in July and that they already rented your place?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have to. I gotta find a place to live. You're not wrong.
That's a good view.
There's a van down by the river that's got my name on it.
So your situation hasn't changed.
True. True.
And you didn't find another place to rent, and rent is increasing in price also.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is a lot more expensive.
Right. So if your situation hasn't changed, and we actually did find this house this weekend that checks most of the boxes, and it's taken us 3 months to get to this point. And as you know, we don't have multiple offers right now,
Mhm.
and we haven't been in that position before.
Mhm. Yeah.
So can you understand the value in the fact that we might not have to pay as much for the house in this case? Therefore, maybe that little bit of the interest rate increase isn't going to affect the payment like paying 25,000 over, which
That's
you
a
were
good
willing
point.
to do 2 months ago.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, we're getting it at asking, which I don't think we would have been able to a month or 2 or 3 ago.
Correct. And as I said, you know, when you gave Cliff a call the other day, he had mentioned there were some other options in regards to buying that rate down or the possibility of refinancing in a few months.
Sure.
And that what was most important to you was finding the right house for you and your growing family.
Right. Right.
So with that said, you know, you're going to be like, what, in about 30 days on the curb. And I'm pretty sure that with this house checking most of the boxes, you know, what other options did you think that you had?
Sure. Signing the offer. That's great. I think highlighting that rates are not forever, whether they're going back down or not, the rate that you're purchasing at now, you can always refinance. There's creative options, and we're going to hear more in coming weeks. Yep, exactly. And the point that you hit about rent's going up faster than home prices are going up right now, and that's going to continue to be the case as people get priced out of this market. So
or whatever the situation. So I just jotted down a couple of notes. I was just sitting and brainstorming, so I did copy all that. But depending on what the situation. So to me, it's always, what is the situation? didn't your house sell?
Yeah.
Or didn't you tell me you're getting divorced, or,
Right.
whatever the situation is, isn't your family growing? Weren't you downsizing? Didn't this house, utilities are increasing, and didn't your last kid just go off to college and you told me you didn't need this 5-bedroom house anymore? Blah,
Right. The
blah,
circumstances haven't changed.
That's
that-
right.
That brought us here in the first place.
Most people aren't buying just because they decided, this house isn't pretty enough for me anymore and I want to change my environment. There's a reason.
Right.
So
Right.
revisiting those pain points, but I guess you have to have that conversation first.
Yeah.
If you don't know your client, you're not going to know how to point out those pain points in the right way.
Right.
So,
Right. Well done.
so yeah. Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Operation Keep Mark Off the Streets. Who we got now? Stonegate, Sam. No Andrea today. We got halves of duos today.
You guys remember the last time I wore this dress, I almost took the TV off the wall. Who was on last? You guys remember? Preston knows.
Look at the reverse the curse today.
Okay, couple things.
Was it this TV?
It-
Is it why it's crooked?
Yes, yes. So I tripped over, because it's a little longer, and I went to go over something. I knocked the laptop off the thing, the TV went crooked.
She
and I was like
rolled.
this.
She was holding her coffee and didn't spill it though. It was
Oh
amazing.
yeah, I did have coffee in my hand. Maybe that's why I just off my list. Good times. Good times. Okay, couple things. One, the last CE, 3-hour CE of the series law is July 19th here in this room, 9 a.m. to 12:15. So a little bit different of time. So hopefully you can handle law at 9 a.m. And we will do a fantastic lunch afterwards. That's for series, right?
It's all about the lunch.
So I will leave these flyers out there. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about is, as of July 1st, we're doing automation. So hopefully if you guys have turned in a new deal, you have seen it. So what will happen is, once we get a new deal, you, your clients, the other agent, and the lender, if we have that information, will be sent yes, so make sure your agents know to put you on that transaction. You'll get a welcome email like, hey, we received this. It's got a really nice graphic. Once order entry is done, you'll get one for that. Once the title commitment is done, you'll get one for that. Once the survey is done, you'll get one for that, and the survey will be attached. I think the commitment might be attached too. Clear to close and filing. So I think there's 5 or 6 checkpoints that you'll get, and it's already pretty graphic. Like I said, there's a little video about fraud. Always have your clients know, do the right thing. Don't send your money if land instructions are not going to change, all of that stuff. So that started July 1st, and new deal that came in. So hopefully you and the clients are seeing that. Yes. Yeah, it's great.
I see that nod.
I see a few. Okay, that means you guys need to send more deals to Stonegate if we.
So we should go to the agents and our clients.
Yes.
All the transaction statements.
Yes. So with that, when I was an agent, I tended to do my escrow instructions after the appraisal and after these inspections, just wasn't sure about closing costs and purchase price, but we would rather you turn it in first thing and then make any changes if needed. So that escrow instructions, we're going to have the lender info and all of the client's info, and then we'll be able to put them in the system right then, and then everyone will have those important emails, and everyone will be kept up to date on all the things. Any questions on any of that? We're really excited. I think it's going to be a great tool just to keep everybody in the loop. You might get a few more emails, but you just move those to a folder. Just move them to a folder. It will be fine. Right? Okay. Any questions?
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate you. And thanks for bringing the core CEs. That's real value. That doesn't happen everywhere. And
yeah,
so
hopefully we haven't talked about it, but I would imagine we'll do a fall series of 3 also. So stay tuned.
market calendars.
If you guys need the link to register, let me know, text me, Viber, whatever, so you can order the.
Great. Terry, you want to come on down? I lost track of you. There you are. Would you like a stool, Terry? Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Back up a little bit so folks on Zoom can see it. There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
How many people don't know me? Well, I don't know most of you. Unfortunately, our office has grown so rapidly over the years that it's hard to keep up with everyone. But I'm one of the originals. This is my wife, Marty. And I was here when we started about 14 years ago. We met at a guy's house on his dining room table named Mike Kaczynski. And Marcy was here, and there was about 6 others. And we mapped out territories to start the office. You know, it's a very laborious process. But we got it done, and Keller Williams granted us the franchise. So I was one of the originals. I've been on the ALC for 8 years. I've sold hundreds of homes. And the announcement that I have to make today is that Margie and I are going to switch roles a little bit. She has been my assistant for the last 8 years. And now I'm going to be her assistant. I put my license in escrow. There's no sense for both of us paying $1,000 a year in dues. So I'm going to be her assistant. It's hard for me to walk sometimes because I get diabetes, and I'm also a disabled vet. I wear a boot that comes up to my knee, and it's hard for me to do the steps up and down these houses where there's no handrails. So we're just going to reverse roles a little bit. But I'm not out of the business. You're going to see me around everywhere. So anyhow, that's my big announcement that I'm going to put my license in escrow, and I need your help because I've been in the business for 31 years. And when people see my name go in that newsletter that I'm out, they're going to start talking. And they're going to spread rumors like crazy. And what I need your help is to say, hey, Terry doesn't have cancer. I'm not dying of brain aneurysms, and I don't have Parkinson's, because the rumors will spread real quick. And I would like you to help me dispel that, to say, no, he hasn't left the business. So.
Awesome.
I also wanted to say something. I have a friend, and she doesn't know, but she has been my mentor for years. She may not even know it. Her name's Marcy Fleet. Marcy has helped me with so many things. Marcy, would you come up? Marcy shares all of her marketing material with everyone, and she has helped us, our office, out enormously. So you didn't know you had a secret environment.
Not so secret. Yeah, well, and I think, thanks so much, Terry. We appreciate you. Yeah, please.
And he brought so many agents in, and he knows what the profit share is because he's lived on it for quite a while. And nobody talks about that anymore. But Terry, he got it, he preached it, he did it, and he was like one of our big strong arms on getting business off the ground.
Yeah,
We're all here.
We say that people come for any number of reasons, the finances or the training or whatever, but they stay for the culture and for the people. And I think both of you, all three of you, embody that in ways that I think we can all emulate and follow. So we're grateful for you, and we're glad to continue to see you, even if in a different capacity. All right, our time is limited, but I did want to spend a bit of time talking about the listing side of things. We all know, and Anybody not want more listings in this environment? Of course not. Listings are at the headwaters of the market. The one who has the listings control the market. Even as Gina mentioned, that listings are not any easier now than they were before. They're going to get trickier. Doesn't mean that we don't want them. A handful of us had the chance to go to a Glover U event 2 or 3 weeks ago now, something like that, where it was all about kind of winning listings and staying upstream of all this. So I just wanted to highlight kind of a few takeaways and hear a little bit from what Eli learned as one of those who attended. I'll give you a tap in a second. The bottom line is that the market has required us to be fast up to this point, and the new market, the shifting market, is requiring us to be skillful in ways that we haven't before. It's not just about being the first one in the room. It's about being the one that has the skills to win the deal, to prove that you have what it takes to sell it, and then actually following through on that. A couple reasons. Consumers are savvier than ever before. They're doing their own research. Their expectations around timeliness and you being on it and professional are higher than ever before. They're less loyal to you than ever before. Everyone's lost a client to someone else, or who you thought would be a client to someone else. And they don't want to be sold. They want to be consulted. They want to be supported. They want to be guided. They don't want to be sold. So therefore they want a professional in their corner that has skills. And as a Napoleon Dynamite fan, I couldn't talk about nunchuck skills, boning skills, computer hacking skills. Girls or clients only want boyfriends that have great skills. It stands true in 2007 as it does today. So kind of the 5 brackets of skills that are important. And we didn't print off a self-assessment, though I was tempted to. As we go through these 5, consider on a 1 to 10 scale, where am I? And where might I need to hone my skills? What class might I need to be asked to be taught that's not on the calendar? Who might I need to buddy up with to sharpen my skills? So presentation skills. Presentation skills are, what do I want to be known for? Is my focus, the things that I'm trying to accomplish, actually reflected in the way that I present myself? How I appear, my online presence, how people are researching you before they meet with you. If you didn't know that, it's true. Time to kind of get with the times in that regard. Do your marketing materials, do they reflect the clientele that you're looking to serve? If you're looking to operate in the high-end environment, but your marketing materials are middle-end environment, the high-end folks, and the other way around. If you're looking to meet with a $150,000 client and your marketing materials just show fancy homes, they might say this person isn't for me. So your presentation skills, that's not listing presentation, it's your overall image. Your sales skills, there's lots in here. Your time management around your key priorities, your ability to prospect through a variety of methods, communication forms, your ability to close both for an appointment as well as for the contract, for the deal, your ability to follow up even when they're not responding, who hasn't had a client or a lead not respond? That's not a bad lead. That's just a lead that's taken their time in responding. I'm a bad lead by that category. I often take 3-4 times, and you send the 4th text. I'm like, no, I'm still paying attention. I'm still interested. I got one of those today from Zach from somewhere. Your appointment preparation and professionalism. You're going in with a game plan and you know what you're talking about. Your ability to practice and role play conversations. If you're weak in that, and I know a lot of people are allergic to scripting, but being prepared to have a conversation, call it what you want, but that's an important part of being a professional. You can do that in a way that's authentic. Shameless plug for a script off a week from tomorrow or something like that, the 20th. And that's going to be fun. We're gonna get it interactive. We're gonna play with scripts and crown a champion, I think. Ability to identify your communication style of your client and adapt to them right away. DISC is really useful in this regard. If you're a high D and you're communicating with someone who's a high S, your ability to understand that, oh, okay, this person is not like me. How do I communicate in a way that is, they're going to feel heard and valued and seen. We might know a guy who knows a thing or two about that. We should have you teach that class again. It's been, that needs to be, that needs to be on the regular rotation. Your ability to overcome objections. Jeff said that you don't win a listing either because of the price or of your failure to overcome their objections. I think sometimes talking about handling objections, that sounds really, it can feel slimy. I'm not handling anybody, but your ability, an objection is an unanswered question. And so your ability to, when they push back in a way, okay, what's the question beneath that? So my objection to Gina was, oh, I can't afford it now, or I don't want to do it now because of interest rates. The question beneath that is, can I still afford the home that I want? And for her ability to interact with that as opposed to just the objection itself. The ability to master a question-based listing presentation. That is, you're not just standing up and spieling, you're engaging, you're learning, you're understanding who they are, therefore able to serve them and their needs. And you're better equipped to have that 2 week later conversation when things aren't going the way that they may have hoped. What else did I put down there? This is the longest one. Your ability to start at 0 every day. Does anybody want to take a stab at what that means? Tina.
What happened yesterday, today's a new day, can't dwell on it. Didn't get to listen yesterday, listening today.
That's right. Someone cussed you out at 11:30 last night. Nobody likes that. That doesn't happen all that often. I mean, let's be real, but in the worst moment at the last hour of the day, the ability to say, today's a new day, my job is still my job. Just because you had a weird conversation prospecting or someone didn't take the listing doesn't mean that you don't still need to prospect and get listing. So chin up, next day. And the ability to ask for the sale. I don't know, I didn't ask you to do this, Rich, but what was the instance a couple years ago was it with Jose?
Yeah, it was with Jose, and I went into a listing appointment before him, and he got the listing, which again, the level of business that he did versus what I did, totally different. But I said, when I'm getting ready to leave and I'm wanting them to sign the listing, I left because they said they wanted to interview other agents. And I said, how did you get out of there without them saying the same thing to you? And he said, did you ask for the listing? And I said, no. So from that day forward, I've asked for the listing, and it really does make a huge difference. You'd be amazed at the people that will actually sign with you when you ask them for the listing, as opposed to just letting them control the situation and say, well, I'd like to interview other people. If you can handle that objection and say, could we get this signed today? 9 times out of 10, they'll sign with you. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's just a question. It's not, you're not bullying anybody.
Nope.
We used to offer to call the other agents that they'd like to tell them, hey, your services aren't needed.
Appreciate it. Feel free to bring a buyer. The professional way of in your face, sucker.
Great phone call for the house.
There's a script for that, right? Don't say that. All right, 3 more categories. Messaging and copywriting, writing copy. This might feel like, wait, what? I'm not working for a magazine here, but your ability to communicate, particularly on social media, of how to engage with people. What are they curious about? Hey, 3 things buyers need to know in this market is more compelling than June market update. We don't need to be clickbaity. There needs to be value on the other side, but asking a question. And so the formula here is the hook with personal introduction. Hey, I'm Carl Ann, and I'm your local real estate expert. Excited to talk with you about X, Y, or Z. The supporting information for the hook. Okay, did you know X, Y, or Z is happening right now? Here's 2 or 3 things that are happening or that I read, data points to support that, news items to support that, an example or a testimonial from a past client or from the source, and then a call to action. Want to learn more? Click here to schedule a call where we can dive into your specific situation. The hook and the call to action, I think, are the things that are most often lacking. We post, here's what's going on, or you wouldn't believe it, the market's still crazy. And everyone's saying the same thing. If you're not calling them to action and you're doing it in a compelling way, don't bother. Social media skills related to that. Social media needs to be consistent, on a schedule with a mixed diet. What do I mean by that?
Personal and professional.
Yeah, personal and professional. If all you're ever doing is posting your under contracts or out with a buyer today, then that's all people will expect. You're doing some of that. You're doing, hey, here's what's happening this weekend for me and my family. Here's a random thing that I read recently. Here's the market update said in a compelling way. But it's variety that shows that you're a person. I was talking with a new agent the other day. She's like, should I just do everything on my Facebook business page? The answer is no. You should not do everything on your Facebook business page. Your Facebook business page is good for two reasons. Validity, for people to find you and, okay, this person's running a business, and the ability to sponsor content and run ads that way. That's it. Everything else should be run through your personal page. People are much more likely to linger, click, and stay in that regard.
This would be a 75-25% rule. 75%
Okay.
personal, 25% business.
I like that.
Yeah, I've done a couple classes.
Okay.
Social media.
Mm-hmm.
And that type of thing, but they always say 25-75.
75-25 for those who can't hear on Zoom. That's a helpful rule of thumb. Hey, if I've done 10 in a row that are just about my business, I need to swing in the other direction. Adding friends daily. This may seem simple, but when someone shows up in the people you may know, and they're not another realtor, you can be friends with realtors, that's great, but realtors aren't going to be sending you business unless it's an out-of-state referral, which is a different conversation. But get in the business of, hey, if someone has 4 mutual friends, they're probably going to accept your friend request, and you never know what might come from that, particularly if you're systematic and communicating in a compelling way. Utilizing Facebook Live and stories. It's one thing to post, but live and stories are going to be seen more. Those are going to pop up. Facebook Live, anyone who follows you is going to get a notification about that. And so if you want visibility, those are the things to do. You can post. Posting is fine. That's not a bad thing to do, but it's not getting nearly the same visibility as if you were to do those. Facebook wants you doing those things. Yeah, Lynn.
There's a tip on that. So the rule is if you respond to any post, use 5 words. You'll increase your visibility on the algorithm. Don't just do a smiley face or a thumbs up. Like, great, Mark, congratulations, then thumbs up. You'll get better placement. Emojis count as words. But
Emojis count as words, but minimum of 5 for Facebook's algorithm.
You just don't want to do all emojis, no.
That's a great tip. So that's when you're commenting on people's stuff.
You'll increase your visibility.
Cool. Guys, Lynn knows stuff about stuff, so you spend time with Lynn. What's that? So many nuggets. Get at the barbecue sauce. Finally, database building skills. As we touched on, winning in the database game is if you do one thing right in a shifting market, and particularly with listings, you have to communicate. So adding to your database regularly and adding value to it. What's going on events wise? Hybrid farming, which is calling the area where you just did, not just sending the postcard, but it's, hey, I've got this, or this just sold. Do you or anyone you know have interest in selling or learning what your home might be worth? It's a more proactive approach. Agent to agent referral intentionality, meaning get in business with people or get in a relationship with people who are in other areas, because you never know who's sending what where. And referrals can be a meaningful source of business. Systematize your touches, attend Lynn's database class on the 29th. Eli, you were there, and we don't need to spend more time than necessary, but what were 1 or 2 or 3, come on down so the people on Zoom can see you, 1 or 2 or 3 of your key takeaways that you plan to utilize?
I'd say the biggest one is the changing of my listing presentation. So as he said, marketing yourself to who you're going for. Does your marketing match your ideal clientele? And I think we all try to diversify our business as much as possible and keep it consistent. And so instead of using like the same listing presentation template and then just changing it up a little bit, actually having a different listing presentation for every type of appointment you're going on. So I developed one for investors, luxury, first-time home buyers, first-time home sellers. I think I have like 7 or 8 downloaded in Canva, which he did say he did not like Canva too much, but he didn't
like Canva for posting. If you're posting Canva images on your personal page, it's going to look like you're running a business to Facebook on your personal page, and they don't like that, and you'll lose demerit points from that.
That's right.
But yeah, Canva as a tool generally is great,
Right.
but with that particular distinction.
Yeah, and you had mentioned Facebook Live and Stories. He mentioned Instagram Reels algorithmically are getting pushed more because they're trying to take business away from TikTok. So if you post a reel rather than just like a standard story or something like that, it's pushing that out to more people because they're trying to make it more popular. What to put on there? He had a lot, like sometimes if you have like a great closing or a great day of home buying or home shopping or something like that, just to put a little edit up or something like that, just to get yourself out there. And then I think the last big thing that I liked a lot was, which we had touched on, was the social media usage, not just sharing from your Facebook page all the time. I don't know if anybody in here has me on Facebook. I know a few of you do. I'm super guilty of that. Pretty much like all my posts every day that I put on that's all my traffic to my business page goes from my personal page because I'm always sharing it. I see results from it, but I see what he's saying. And I know you had touched on it as well, which is we're not robots, they want to see us as people as well. And I think that garners more business, at least, especially like my biggest form of prospecting is networking. So being a regular human being outside of just a house factory farmer, I guess, for lack of a better term, is good. So but yeah, it was nice. Thank you very much for inviting me. I know Preston came too, and you learned
a couple others.
Stuff, so yeah.
Not on here, but generating listings by going to hosting open houses. Eli hosted one for me this weekend and picked up a couple listing appointments through it.
Did pretty good through there. And then Nick, who I don't think is here, I did one for him as well. I think that's been pretty nice. So if anybody wants an open house help, I love doing it.
He's your guy. It's 12, but we got just a couple more minutes. Thanks, Eli. I appreciate your sharing. Gina, I think you're here.
I am. Thank you.
And I will make sure.
Last but not least, right?
Hang on a second.
Sure.
It's saying that you're unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
Speaker. Try now.
Can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. Great to be here. Just wanted to say, regardless of the market that we're in, it never goes out of style to make sure you protect yourself and your business. On our application page, we have a waiver line. And the reason it's so important, we have a program called Client Secure. You want to get in the habit of offering everyone a home warranty because whether they want it or not, they want to sign the waiver, because if you're named in a lawsuit, we're going to cover 75% of your E&O deductible. That's up to $3,750, Mark. That is so important in the society we're in. It is litigious. And I just want to make sure all of our agents are protected. And last but not least, I hear a lot lately, when we're writing clean offers, can my homeowner still purchase the home warranty if they've called me after closing? Yes. Please get in touch with me up to 2 weeks after they've closed, because I can ensure that they'll get real estate pricing for the home warranty. If not, they'll pay up to $200 more if they go through our direct consumer department. So I want to make sure that we're giving our clients value and still protecting them even after closing. You can put a home warranty on. Just make sure you get in touch with me if it's after 2 weeks after closing. But just want to thank everybody for their support in business. Don't want to take too much of your time, and thanks for having me today.
Thanks, Gina.
Thank
One
you.
quick note, as a reminder, when you submit a data collection form with America's Preferred, you get $100. 19% of people in Q1 did not do that. And that's money that's just hanging in the ether. If you've got money that you're glad to just let hang, congrats, but it's there for you. So take advantage of that.
Yes, thank you, Mark. And I want to also say 19 is really good. Everybody does a phenomenal job, but we want to make sure we get 100% of their money to them. So good job, but let's get those 19 in, and I'm always here to answer any questions and happy to help.
Thanks, Gina. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. I think that pretty much takes us home. Let me just double check a couple things to highlight. The Divvy Homes training tomorrow in Mansfield for Mansfield folks, and then Thursday here. That's a tool in your toolbox to learn about different ways that you can support and serve clients. Sam talked about the CE class coming up next Tuesday. And then I mentioned the script off a week from tomorrow with lunch sponsored by Stonegate as well. So thank you all. Linger for lunch, stay for community. Mercedes has an announcement. Hang on just a quick second.
Okay, so we're gonna play the Scram Rack ball game right before lunch. It takes about 10 minutes. It's a super fun game. I don't know if you win prizes. It's fun. There's lottery tickets and gift cards.
Ooh.
So stay. It takes about 10 minutes, and we just gotta get in a circle up front.
If anyone's able to stay, we'll get in a circle up front. Those who can't, grab a bite on your way out. The next committee starts at 12:30 in here with Miss Tina. Awesome. Thank you for those joining us on Zoom.